Welcome to the second episode of A History of Bethlem Hospital in 5 Pots. There's no sensible way of assessing the value of these everyday objects in financial terms. Their true value is bound up with the picture they help to build of the life of the hospital. Well, today we're looking at this salt-glazed clay pot, and I'm grateful to Lars Tharp of Antiques Roadshow fame for his advice on it. We can establish the original provenance of the pot by the words printed on it, Bethlem Hospital. And from the style of the font that has been used for these words, it's a fair guess that the pot dates from the early 19th century, the closing decades of Bethlem's location in Moorfields, around about Finsbury Circus area. The move the hospital made from there in 1815 may help to explain why this pot was later found in the cellar of a private dwelling before it made its way into the museum collections, by the kind generosity of Drusilla Gabbard, who found it in her cellar and donated it to the museum. Many of the hospital's contents were auctioned off at the time of the move in 1815, and it's reasonable to suppose that small items like this one may have been given away at that time. This pot is less likely than the pot I showed you last week to be an item of tableware, and I think it's more likely to have held water than wine. Perhaps it was used in connection with cleaning the hospital, something which became a larger part of the duties of hospital staff over the second half of the 18th century, admittedly from a very low starting point. Even by 1800, it was still common for Bethlem patients to compare their living conditions with those suffered by patients at its rival institution, St. Luke's, by saying that St. Luke's is clean with tyranny, Bedlam's all filth with liberty. It's certainly an unenviable choice between liberty and cleanliness, not that patients of either hospital were in the position of choosing, but it is to be hoped that pots like this one were used to make hygiene standards at Bethlem better than what they would have been otherwise.